So now we're going to dig into a brand catchphrase. So I hope you can see that your branding for your coaching business goes far beyond the visual components, right? It's one of these things that it really is layers of different things that make up your full brand identity. And as your coach, I have went and I've studied other coaches. I've studied experts that are make multiple six figures, and I take a look at things and I'm like, what are they doing that I can teach coaches to do so that we can fast track their success, build a brand faster so that they get the visibility that they want. And that's why I'm breaking all these different components out for you. So remember, in all of this, right, your brand identity is your brand identity. I'm going to give you what I think is the fastest way to get the success that you want, especially in building your brand. You can take the best and leave the rest. I hope you come up with a brand catchphrase. I think it would be fantastic. However, if it feels like too much or you're not ready to do it right now, that's okay too. At the end of the day, this is your coaching business, and I want you to build it in a way that feels right to you. So brand catchphrases are really cool, and I think you're gonna see what I mean by this. So anyway, so let's just jump into brand catchphrases. So what is a coaching brand catchphrase? It really is a memorable, concise phrase that captures a brand's essence and distinguishes it from competitors. What we're going to do with the brand catchphrase is we're going to reinforce the brand promise. So all of this is strategically taught to you to build into having this amazing brand identity for your coaching company, okay? So we want to reinforce the brand promise with a brand catchphrase. So as you know, I like to look at different industries outside of the coaching industry to see what other industries do and how we can incorporate that in to the coaching industry to stand out more, okay? So what are some example brand catchphrases? So from the basic side on the left side here, it's companies we've all heard of. And when you say it, you're like, yep, it's a catchphrase. And that reinforces their brand promise too. Nike, just do it. Like probably the most famous one. McDonald's, I'm loving it. You can't not sing it almost. Apple, think different. L'Oreal, because you're worth it, right? Disney their catchphrase is the happiest place on earth, right? So when you're there, they're already setting the tone that it's going to be the happiest place on earth. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. They want you to feel like a boss behind the wheel. So it's a perfect catchphrase to embody their brand promise. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. So those are some big brands that have these catchphrases that are just embedded into our own DNA. Like it is unconscious at this point that we think Nike, just do it. McDonald's, I'm loving it, that kind of stuff. So that's how big brands do it. From a expert standpoint, I want to take a look at some and go, okay, how are we doing it, right, in our industry? So Dave Ramsey, the Financial Peace University, he's got a podcast. A lot of us know Dave Ramsey. He helps people get out of debt. It's always in my mind too. He was the first one that came to mind was live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else. And he even has the distinct pausing when he's saying this catchphrase. A lot of the times he does it on his podcast or what have you, but live like no one else so that later you can live like no one else. So live like no one else and budget. So then later on you can live your best life and all that stuff. So amazing catchphrase that pulls from his promise. Tim Ferriss, the 4-hour work week guy, right? His whole catchphrase is hack your life. How can we hack your life? Hack your life, right? It's a good catchphrase for him. Brendan Burchard is, live, love, matter. And then even when he does his talks and stuff like that, when you analyze that, it's like, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? So that's his catchphrase, live, love, matter. Marie Kondo, she's the spark joy. I mean, it's just spark joy. She's the tidy lady who teaches tidiness and organization. So spark joy. So spark joy becomes her catchphrase. And you'll know a catchphrase because usually people put it on shirts. They'll have merchandise. It's just one of these things that is so embodied into their, in this case, expert and coaching business, right? Lisa Nichols, one of my favorite speakers, transformational, inspirational speaker, her whole thing, and she may have even trademarked is yes, 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 yes. So as she's talking, she's getting agreement from her audience. Yes, yes. So, and you'll see a lot of people modeling this as well. But, yes, yes becomes a catchphrase for her. Tony Robbins, unleash the power within, unleash the power within, unleash the power within. I think it's one of his programs as well. Mel Robbins even wrote a book called The 5 Second Rule. She's a fantastic female speaker and just transformational everything. I really enjoy Mel. I met her when she was just kind of coming up. And so it's so cool to just watch her now. And anyway, but she has one, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And a lot of times she does 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right. So it's like her 5 second rule becomes her catchphrase, which is what she's wrote her book around, all that stuff. So she teaches people 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathe, go. So that's cool. And then a catchphrase that I've had ever since I renamed my company many years ago is just navigating business forward, navigating business forward. So the name of my LLC is Navigation Forward. So it's like navigating business forward. So everything I do and want to do is all about moving coaching businesses forward. Okay. So you can see from a corporate standpoint how they're doing it. I gave you some experts, and then little old me, like how I've brought this into my own business as well. So it's really great if you can have a brand catchphrase, and as long as it's catchy too. So how to create your catchy brand catchphrase. So I want you to think in terms of keeping it simple. Make it snappy and easy to grasp, short, sweet, and to the point. Shorter the better, okay? Because people can memorize it. Just do it, right? Focus on the benefits. So highlight what's in it for them and showcase the big wins that they're going to get from your coaching. So focus on the benefits, navigating business forward. That is a benefit. You're going to move forward in your business, right? Live like no one else so you can live like no one else so you can later live like no one else, right? I kind of messed that up. That one's a little long, but it's very impactful, So, all that kind of stuff. Focus on the benefits. Revisit your brand promise. So go look at your brand promise, what you came up for that. How can you put a twist on that? A simple twist to create a catchphrase around it. And I want you, when you're creating your brand catchphrase, to create a feeling. How do you want your coaching clients to feel? And don't be afraid to be unique, right? I want you to stand out with something catchy that sticks. You can make a clever play on words or a unique statement that is all you, okay? And so a brand catchphrase is one of these things. It's beyond a tagline, to me, it's something that you want to be known for, where you're onto something when people can start repeating it. Like everyone does with Lisa Nichols is yes, yes, right? And she always does this too. Raise her hand, yes, yes. So anyway, so now it's your turn to create your brand catchphrase. Okay. So I want you to think in terms of having something that's simple. I gave you some tips on how to create that catchy brand catchphrase. And it doesn't, you don't need to overthink it. Just come up with something that, feels instinctually right and run with it, right? I don't want you to get caught up in the branding side too deeply, right? Because we're just putting a foundational stake in the ground. We can always go back and visit it, but chances are your first gut instinct is going to be the one, right? All right, so up next, we're going to do your brand totem. So this is another really cool element that I want to come at building your coaching brand identity at.